Poached egg cling film trick. You think during this isolation I might actually teach myself to poach an egg properly. 250 grams of chocolate, 60 mils of water from a recently boiled kettle, 50 grams of soft, and I think I said already 150 grams of marshmallows. Gonna mix that all up, and in a separate bowl cream with vanilla extract, and then fold it all together and leave it to set. No eggs, really simple. I've been making this for years and it's always really popular. I'm not gonna lie, it still looks like sausages and gravy, but it's getting there. It's starting to get more cohesive. 285 ml, I think, carton. You can use double cream. I'm gonna add vanilla extract and whip this and then fold it into this, and you're pretty much done. I'm gonna whip it, but not majorly. The water really helps it from sticking to the bottom of the pan. It doesn't matter if you use pink marshmallows, it's not gonna change the colour of the mousse or anything. Ideally I'd go with white, but at the end of the day it really doesn't matter. This feels airy and bubbly and foamy, but it does have a really thick, dense, creamy consistency when you're done with it. It's a very rich chocolate mousse. It's really easy to make. It doesn't even take 15 minutes. Obviously you have to let this cool before you put them into ramekins or whatever you want to use. I'll link it below because it is a really good one and fast one to make. You could probably get even 6 out of it with ramekin dishes. If you're having a dinner party and want to do something ahead, you can let it set naturally or in the fridge. I usually let it set in the fridge, but take it out about 10 minutes before you want it. And it has those lovely bubbles like side and air. You can see that's getting pretty thick now, and all the marshmallows are nearly dead. So I just add the cream in there now too. Good morning. It's Easter Sunday. I would film myself, but I just woke up and my hair is insane. For Easter dinner today, I'm gonna make Garten's company pot roast. I'm gonna improvise with my slow cooker. She has a Dutch oven, which I do not have, but I'm gonna do all the same steps pretty much. She does most of the stuff in the Dutch oven. I'm gonna pat this dry now, season it and dredge it in flour, sear each edge, and then I'm gonna do the rest of the parts in the slow cooker. I'm gonna heat that up now while I dredge the meat and sear it, and hopefully it turns out well. I'm gonna serve it with creamed spinach and rosemary potato. We'll see how that goes. We also have Easter eggs. Thanks, Mom. I don't know which one to have. I think this one. And yeah, I was going to set a proper table. I didn't get any Eastery bits, obviously, because we've been on lockdown since the 13th of March. But yeah, I made the chocolate mousse yesterday. That's going to be pretty much chocolate overload for today. This is chuck. This is all we could get. I want to chuck or brisket anyway. That's absolutely fine. And I think it's called aguja. It means needle as well. That's pretty much the cut I wanted. So let's see if I destroy this or make my mama proud. I just didn't want to do lamb. I wanted to do something fun. Oh, there's one component in this that we left out. Hopefully it's not too important. You need nearly a pint of red wine, but you also need cognac or brandy. I've never even tried brandy. We don't have it, so that's the one thing I'm omitting. Oh, and celery. But we do have carrots, onions, beef stock. Sorry for vegans who come across this video, God. I'll just go back here. Being me, I use loads of frozen garlic, minced garlic, already in the bag, because why not? Frozen carrots, frozen onions, the only non-frozen thing. Ooh, Easter bunny. The only not frozen thing is the leeks. They're going in next. This looks disgusting, doesn't it? Oh, here's an espresso made by my sous chef. I'm going to pour this into the slow cooker on top of the vegetables. This is 500 mils of wine, 800 gram can of pureed tomato. What else? Chicken stock, which I thought was odd. Maybe she didn't want it to be too beefy. Right, that's pretty much the top, so hopefully the beef fits in here as well. I'm sure it will. It doesn't look too bad so far. Oh, and we have fresh rosemary. That'll be nice in here too. Okay, I pat that meat dry and I'm gonna season loads now. This kind of salt. I'm gonna dredge the meat. We're gonna use harina de maíz, corn flour. It's not actually corn flour though. It's like flour made from corn that you can actually bake with. So, and it's no GMO. This is a 3.5 litre slow cooker. I'm hoping that huge lump of meat fits in here. I'm sure it will. Things will be tight, but we'll make it work. Okay, the corn flour on the meat kind of looks a bit bizarre, but it doesn't actually matter if you're dredging because it's just going to make the parts with the flour on it caramelize. So that's one side done. I just cooked it for about 2 minutes. I'm going to do 2 minutes this side and the edges. I'm going to put it in the slow cooker about 6 hours on slow and just forget about it and go about my day. This is why I love slow cookers and slow cooking things. Okay, it looks disgusting again because you can't see any of the vegetable colours, but we just got away with it. It literally just fits. Since we're having cream spinach as well, I only did 400 grams of potatoes. I've just cut them up. I'm going to parboil them and fry them later with rosemary and salt and all sorts of things like that. Lots of time to do that. This is all very relaxing, this Easter dinner. And I had planned on doing cream spinach myself, as in buying fresh spinach and doing it with a bit of cream left from making the mousse yesterday. Lots of people use nutmeg. I don't. I just tend to use onions. Oh, doesn't like weight on it. Onions, fresh spinach, bit of milk, salt, pepper, and some people like to use nutmeg. I like to use usually grated parmesan a little bit to mix in. But when I went looking for fresh spinach, there was none. I can understand the reserves were a bit low yesterday on stock after they had been closed Thursday and Friday for Good Friday, and they were only restocking things. So there was a few things I needed that I couldn't get. But I actually looked in the freezer and saw this, so it's already basically done for me. So I'm cheating again, but I'll probably heat up some of this later because it's quite rich. That's why I wanted less potatoes. There's no doubt we're going to have a lot of leftovers. And these guys from yesterday look great. I actually had enough to make 3, which was weird because I made it for Valentine's Day only a few weeks ago. And I only ended up making 2, so that was weird. I mentioned we were making rosemary potatoes to go with the slow cooked beef. I'm not just going to cook them in oil like I normally do with salt and pepper and all that kind of thing. I'm going to put oil in this bowl. I'm going to put, again, cheaters, cloves with garlic mince, lots of salt, pepper, and then I'm going to put rosemary, quite a bit, a few sprigs. And I'm going to use this now to make the rosemary oil and leave it for a while before I actually put it in the pan to fry these. Just instead of making it with oil and putting the rosemary on top, you'll get far more rosemary flavour if you do that. So that is the plan. I've used a small handful of frozen minced garlic, whole sprig more or less of rosemary. I have loads of fresh stuff left, but I don't want it to be overkill either, and I'll use it for something else during the week. This is just sunflower oil, ground black pepper, and just regular old sea salt. Of course, you don't have to use sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, you can use avocado oil, you can use regular olive oil, just not obviously extra virgin because it doesn't have a very high smoke point. And now it's time to blitz. Obviously I didn't record that because I need my 2 hands, but I pulsed that with the soupy thing or hand blender in the sink just in case there was any oil spraying anywhere. It smells amazing. I'm going to leave that now covered so no flies get in. It's fruit fly time and let it infuse, as they say. So seriously, having such a lazy day, and this is the easiest dinner ever. We're watching Adventurous Endgame as our Easter movie. Just about to put these on for parboiling, and this is the difference in the rosemary oil. It's gone really green now, almost looks like pesto. So we're nearly there. I'm going to take out the roast. I'm going to use half of the sauce, puree it with this, and then I'm going to have 15 grams tablespoon of butter softening here. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of flour, mash it all together when this is a little bit softer, and mix that into the remaining sauce, and then it's pretty much ready to serve. I'm just heating this up now. That's some very potent rosemary oil. I think my phone cover is gonna stink. That looks good. We'll mix the cheese in at the end, I think. Okay, so they're nearly done. This is done. This is for the pot roast / slow cooked beef. I'm going to take half of the sauce out here. I'm going to blitz it to make kind of a gravy, throw it back in, and use this to thicken the whole thing, and then we're basically done. Oh my god, it looks like scrambled eggs. Plate is to transfer the huge roast. Hopefully nothing breaks while I make the gravy. So this has turned out incredibly well. The kitchen stinks of rosemary in a very good way. I'm about to take the rosemary out of this now actually. There's another stalk in here. So I've removed half of the sauce and the vegetables. I'm going to blitz these now, and then that's when you use this to thicken it up. It's a very nice piece of meat. I'm going to put it back in for a few minutes then, and yeah, we're pretty much ready to go.